Alrighty.
Kono 1011, your holiday station.
There, turn that off. It's just way too loud. So, we left off last night after putting the button caps back on after I glued them. And now they can't turn. Ooh. So now I'll put these back. So just go like this. Pretty straightforward. And let me get the screws. I made sure to put them aside so I didn't lose them. The hardware is very important. And I hear thunder outside. Y'all know I love it. So we're gonna use this. Always be careful. So just drop these into their places. Okay, now I can see the screw cap. That's just gonna get in the way. The other lamp socket does not have a wire soldered onto it. Well, actually, I think it came with this one, which obviously is just so rusted I don't even want to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip, that came with this as well, I'm going to rip this off of here, just bend it until it breaks. And see, this is a pretty old resistor, 300 ohms, 10% tolerance, and yeah. The nice thing about these is they're pretty much already wired for you unless the seller or someone takes all the wires off, which usually never happens. They usually never touch it. So these things pretty much already come pre-wired, which is amazing. So how's everybody's weekend going? Mine's very good. I had a lot of fun yesterday. I got to see Anatole, and I got to meet one of our friends, one of his friends who actually lives here in San Antonio, whom I've talked to a lot over the course of the past couple of years. But it was just fun, you know. That's really how to make downtown fun, you know. So, oh wait. Okay, I see this. Okay, I see. Slip and slip that onto there. and then it's pretty much wired. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any of these lamp sockets left, so that means I'm going to have to solder this onto here, but I'm going to do that later. I'm not going to show it on stream. But what I will do, and since I have this with me, I'll just go ahead, open this up. I've got tons of spares. I've got a whole H2395 set of keys. There's connectors. These are bulbs for impulse. Yeah, so that would be these right here. They fit in those. I've got DMG bases. Got a bunch of blanks or brails. These are blanks, which whenever I get any impulse parts, I just take them apart and put them in here. Got a bunch of connectors, crimps, always good to have. There's an interesting story behind this. I'm not going to go into it. I got a lot of backlash for it. But it happened in 2020, so yeah, that's really all I can say. So, I'm sure y'all want to see what I did finish last night. So I got a lot of headway in. So let me just pick this stuff up and move it. Just move this stuff over here so I can plug it in and show y'all. So let me plug this into here. And oh, that's actually not going to be enough. I need to set it at 5 volts. So I'm gonna plug it into here first. The up button, the down button. This one was actually replaced, and the Fujitech guy actually had to search. He had to just scrimmage through his parts just to find that. So these are obviously very old and obsolete. I mean, if they wanted to, they absolutely could have replaced these with innovation buttons. I mean, I could probably do that if I really wanted to, but Anatole would not appreciate that. Yeah, these are very satisfying. They do work a lot like US, but they're built better. And my soldering job on this is holding up really well. Yeah, this is a very cool piece right here. And I actually asked him if he would rather have the InCans or the orange LEDs. I sent him a picture with both in the panel. He was like, I will have to think on it. So anyways, let's take a look at this one. Just get this plugged in. That's right, Westinghouse. And right now I'm running this on 5 volts, but it still works really well. At least it's not like the Omni Lumension that's using like 48 volt bulbs and they take like 3 seconds to come on. Let me try this on its lowest setting and see if they eventually come on. Let's see. Huh. It draws a ton of current. You hear that that screaming noise? Yeah, it's pretty much like a dead short because of how much current it draws. So you gotta run this one at least at 5 volts. Or like, I don't know how many, I don't know how much current this puts out. Doesn't really say. Oh, on the side. Puts out, oh wow, it actually puts out 1500 milliamps. So that's an amp and a half. That's actually not bad. This is on 5 volts. That looks really good. I love the way that those look. Anatole absolutely loves this button. So much so that it made me buy one. And I was really upset because I didn't think the seller would ever get another one. So I asked him to tell me like when he gets another one, and sure enough he did. I was going to pay for it with what I had left on my Visa, but it was a bit too much, and after he gave me the discount I'd already paid for it. So this is on 6 volts. Let's see what it looks like on 7.5. There you can see it starts to get a lot brighter. And the interesting thing about these is if the button cap falls off, you can get an Adams button cap, like from an RT button, and it'll work exactly the same. I know this because I actually got a Westinghouse button cap and I had that RT button, which was dated 87, so it definitely came off of a Westinghouse. But I put it on that and it worked perfect. Those buttons are those are the best buttons that were ever made. 9 volts. And I actually lucked out one time. Let me get this thing. Shit. The arrow fell out. But I looked out and I found this button. It was listed as an Adams Survivor, but I looked through the pictures and I saw it's a Westinghouse, and I was like, I have to have it. It's a California compliant, but it's still just as satisfying. And this wafer, the part with the G on it, you cannot take it out because the button cap is too long. You'd have to take the button cap off somehow. So yeah, even though it's the Gorton font, it's still awesome. I love it. Same type of button as this. And the VR buttons are identical. Except that's just a lot like Dover Traditional Vandal Resistant, which you've also seen. So now we are at, what voltage are we at? We were at 7.5. So we went, 3, 4.5, and then 5, and yeah. Now we're at 9. Okay, so before we were at 7.5. There it actually starts to look very bright and washes out the camera. And if you ever get one of these Westinghouse Type-C buttons, they are super simple to wire up. Now that is very bright, and that washes out the camera almost completely. So, let's actually compare the two, because I've got one of these as well. So right here, who would have ever thought these buttons would be together again? So, and here's my fake Vector. Looks real, but yeah. Actually, let me unplug this. I replaced the pivot part, so it's just 2 contacts now. Although, I'm really wanting to change it back now, but here you can see I have Type-C. Obviously, this is way better than a real Vector. And this key switch that I just got from my parts bin over there. Westinghouse AE. This is Type-C, this is Type-A. And this is the one that sticks out. And if I could take that off, I'll have to use this thing for my, that is used for the Genesis horn strobes that I've got up there. There we go. This is the only Westinghouse button that Jason did a video on. It's exactly the same as AE, but AE just has the very thin, narrow part, and I'm not going to take this off. But you know what? I think I want to see this. So, great, it didn't go off. Oh, because of this. I don't have it plugged in. So yeah, I've got that working, and if I can ever find my, there they are, my fire alarm keys, and I'll show you, damn it, you've got to be kidding me, that is the worst. That is the worst thing ever. That'll make it into a blooper comp for sure. But reset. And look at that, it stays on even though I reset the pull station. And how did I do this with only one button and only one latching relay? This is a latching button. I did not know that when I bought these buttons. So, yeah. And now, of course, doesn't want to go off. Oh, probably because I haven't reset it. Or... okay. This thing has a mind of its own sometimes. Silence. Reset. So now I have two of these that I can enjoy. And I've got every Westinghouse. That's always amazing. Having those. And even though mine was very obviously used, it's, yeah, you can see the scratches. It's definitely not in as good a shape as Anatol's is, which is kind of BS considering I paid way more for mine, but you can definitely see how someone went about polishing it. And you can see there are scratches, but I don't think that's from the seller. It's probably from Anatol. And, you know, always carrying it around. But yeah, he's got a way that he can power it now, make it light up. Anything from 5 to 12 volts will work great. Hell, even 4.5 volts will work. So yeah, this thing at the bottom, that's how you know that it goes this way. Let's get you some good audio of these buttons. So yeah, that's those, and these. Never thought that I would get to work on these, or that. So yeah, off camera I will... That up button presses really nicely. So off camera, yeah, I am going to fix this lamp socket, which isn't going to be too hard. More thunder. I was hearing some thunder last night, pretty late. So yeah, I'm going to just solder this onto this. And then I'll get it put in here, I'll get a bulb, and we'll test it. And why not? I'll show you all that. Me soldering, because it is pretty cool to watch. Jason has shown it in some of his videos. So, go ahead and turn the light on. Pull that. That doesn't do anything. I just like those buttons. I'm very lucky to have all this cool stuff. Oh yeah. That's very exciting to hear. I imagine the water bill is crazy with all these 110-degree days. You know, it makes a 90-degree day feel nice. So much so that when I went into one of our buildings at 6 a.m., I was freezing. Like, I genuinely thought it was cold. Alright, perfect. And now, get this situated. And there we go. That's how you use a helping hands. Let me position my fan a little better. I hope y'all were able to hear the thunder in spite of the fan. Okay, good. I did not touch this with the iron. Every part of the wire, if it's solid core, is going to be hot for a minute or two. And it helps to have solder already on the tip of your iron. You can see right there. You want to tin it. That really helps in getting things hot. So, yeah, anyway, I can put that away now. And if you do a lot of desoldering, this is a really good tool. You just put it right on and click the button, and this plunger shoots up, and then what comes out of the end is typically looks like this. It typically looks like foil, and that means that it did its job. Gets rid of all the excess solder because you don't really need it. And this stuff will cool down pretty quickly too, so you can take it off, not have to worry about it. If it's thicker metal though, you'll have to wait a lot longer. So anyway, you can go ahead and turn that off. And let's look for a bulb while we're up here. So we got lights. Oh, those are the wrong ones. Bingo. 657. Perfect. It's exactly what I need. So let me see if this will work on one of these 9-volt batteries. Get out of here. So you can see it barely lights up on 9. At least with that battery. This one, it doesn't light up at all, because this battery is pretty much dead. So yeah, you can see it's pretty dim. But these just slide right in here, and I've actually got a bunch of these light bulbs in LED form. They're mostly used in car interior lights, and I've got red interior lights in my car. So yeah, lightning detected near my last known location. Awesome. So then we just slide that onto there, and gonna use this contact just so it doesn't strain the wire. And I'll move this to this, and then this will go here. So now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and get another power jack. And this, I have a feeling it's going to have to be run on at least 12 volts, but we'll try it on 9 first. Actually, we'll try it on 6. So, alright, yep, we're getting power. So, make sure the bulbs work. Yeah, a little bit. So, yes. Whoops. Alright, 12. Yeah. 12 is going to be ideal, unless you find... Oh, shit. Wow, the blue sparks. Woo! Look at that. I just did it again on accident. One person watching? Who is it? Who's here? Whoa! That was a big one. But anyway, let's see how bright this is. That's pretty good. And if you run it on DC compared to AC, it'll actually be brighter because it's continuous. So these are connected together. Alrighty. And it works sometimes. Whoa! Okay, check this out. I've done this before with my Westinghouse indicator, just on the face of it, but look at this. That's cool. Takes a long time for the capacitor in my power supply to recharge. So, oh, that will fit through that hole. Wow, so I might actually be able to like glue this onto here, and then this can be the power port right here. Yep, and it still gets power, so it's good. Alright, so these two don't have to worry about. You just gotta connect to right here and here. And if you're using incandescent bulbs, the polarity does not matter in the slightest. So I'm going to crimp some connectors onto those. Let's get some out of the Dover bin. I can hear it raining. That is awesome for a Sunday. That'll cheer a lot of us up because it's just been horrific. Whoa, it's getting louder. Hell yeah. And why not? I'll test these other bulbs that he gave me. These two were in the box, so I'm going to test them as well. Can definitely hear it raining. This one does not seem to work. Yeah, sure enough, it's spent. This one looks fairly new, so I'm pretty confident it'll work. Yep, 12 volts, it lights up pretty decent. It's also a 657 bulb. We're just going to slip these connectors on here and here. And then I'm going to get my crimper tool. Well, I use it as a crimper tool because it's not good for stripping wires. And you just smash it flat so the wire can't come out. Always do pull tests, and you can see it's good. So I'm going to move this, and like I said, the polarity does not matter at all for this application. Slide those on, and wow, very, very firm. Yeah, those connectors are not going to come off unless you absolutely want it to. So let's reconnect it. How cool is that? So, want to see it with some different colors? I can try to do that. Actually, I don't have any LEDs over here. Damn. Well, we can put a fluorescent light behind it. Let's get my lampy bulb, or my lampy fixture. That's quite a blink fest right there. So let's put it behind. Look at that. Whoops. I did not mean to turn that off. Gotta admit, white does not look good when paired with a halogen. That's why when I installed my blue light rings on around my headlights in my car, I had to change the headlights to LEDs because blue LEDs and halogens don't look good together. Still makes the iconic spruing that Traditional is known for, as well as armor, just like this one. And I need to drill this rivet out. It won't be too hard to do. So, yeah, there you go. It's no different. So that's everything wired. Everything for Anatol has been wired. And he's got all of these on all three of them. So, yeah, and if he doesn't get back to me on a decision whether he wants the incandescents or the orange LEDs, I'm just going to let him have both. Because I've still got some orange LEDs to go around. Actually, no, these are my last two. But that's alright. Yeah, because I put eight of them in my Westinghouse PI. Did y'all hear that? So anyways, that is going to be all. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you learned something. If you want to see how I wired the Westinghouse or this Fujitech, check out the stream from last night once it is available. So, yeah. Anyways, I will talk to y'all real soon.